Okay, then let's start the next chapter. That is next
Captive
section,
thoughts.
really, chapter 2, captive thoughts. Yeah, please.
Okay.
Ready?
Oh, okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Captive thoughts. For many years before my current role, working with Andy, the next page, Vikas bhai. Next page. You have to scroll up. Yeah. And leading our largest church campus, I worked with teenagers. One of the greatest frustrations of working with teenagers is that they are constantly ruled by their feelings. There was a high school student in our church who looked like Tim Tebow meets Jimmy Superfly Sungka from 1980s WWF. That's World Wide Boxing Federation, I think. I'm not sure. So he was a big kid, very smart, with a fun personality. I was listening to him share how depressed he had been feeling, and he knew the source of his depression. He shared with me how awful social media was making him feel. I could sense the pain that his thoughts and feelings were causing him, and I wanted to help. So I gave him the best advice I knew to give. Stop it. Just stop looking at social media. Delete the apps. Stop having those thoughts. Stop feeling those feelings. Just stop. It's that simple. Stop. I've been told that I have the gift of mercy, but I've actually never taken the spiritual gifts test. So I'm holding out until I do before I make any judgment. Like the student, many of us tend to be passive with our thoughts and feelings. We treat them like they rule us, like they are in charge of us, and not the other way around. We forget our thoughts and feelings. We forget that our thoughts and feelings are our thoughts and feelings. We own them. They do not own us. At least they shouldn't. And that is where we may need to exercise a little ownership over them. You don't have to allow thoughts of fear, inadequacy, and insecurity to take up residence in your mind. If you do, they will slowly erode your identity and render you ineffective as a leader. But it is not just me telling you to do something about this. If you are a follower, if you are a follower of Jesus, you have been instructed to exert your ownership and take those thoughts captive. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ or Krishna consciousness. It's Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5. So, too many people deal with their thoughts and feelings like a maître d' at a restaurant. That is French. Welcome, sir, Mr. Inadequacy. How many in your party? Is it just you, or are you expecting more? We are pretty full tonight, and we will do our best to find you a table since you've gone to the trouble of showing up. We don't have to do that. If we believe these thoughts, damage our identity, we will be more aggressive in responding. If we believe these thoughts damage our identity, we will be more aggressive in responding. Instead of a maître d', we need to treat our thoughts and feelings of fear, inadequacy, and insecurity like where Liam Neeson in Taken. That's a famous actor, Liam Neeson, or a personality. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have is a very particular set of skills. Skills that I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you, I will find you, and I will kill you. That's the line from that movie. Our thoughts and feelings are liars. They're trying to tell us something that is not true. Elevating the voice of God above the volume of these lies is essential to allowing God to form a healthy sense of identity in you.
Okay, so the last paragraph is there. Let me read. And
Okay.
from chapter 3, we'll start fresh tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, the section says dark room development. Here is the good news. If you do not
But
have
what about
yeah,
no? But what about the previous para, Prakashji?
which one?
Oh yeah, correct. Okay, got it. Yes, this is the place. Sorry, it went up. I didn't see it for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here is the good news. If you do not have a clear picture of your future and you are feeling stuck and frustrated, I want to encourage you to not lose sight of the ways you are developing right now. What you are doing now as a leader, even if you are not in charge, is incredibly important. You are developing. The old school photographers develop their pictures, and that development happens in dark rooms. If you feel you are in a dark room of your life, do not lose sight of the development that is happening. Just because you cannot see the tangible results from where it is happening right now, you need to trust that your identity is taking shape. And there are things you can choose to do, how you respond to your boss, to your co-workers, to your circumstances, to your thoughts and emotions, and to God. That will shape and determine your future as a leader. Wow. So how we behave, how we respond to everyone around us, including to our own thoughts and emotions, that is going to shape us, shape and determine our future as a leader. Because unless until we pay a good attention, we cannot respond. We will just keep ourselves ignorant, and we will dwell in ignorance.
Yeah.
And that's where actually the perfect shape is not going to come. The intentional future building cannot happen in this particular state. So author is giving very right advice that any tangible result, if it is not happening, then we need to trust that our identity is taking shape, and we need to just pay attention to it. One of the area you are saying something?
And no, yeah, that's correct. Yes, I get that.
Okay. One of the areas you may still need to address, however, is the question of ambition. Do you have a desire to lead, a hunger to see things change? Some younger leaders fear that hunger and avoid it until they are in the position to do something about it. Other leaders give in to the hunger, but they do it in an unhealthy way that is selfish and self centered. In the next chapter, we will take a look at how to approach our ambition in a healthy way. It will be very interesting how to approach our ambition in a healthy way. That we are
That'd be
going.
very interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kibosh, my goodness.
Kibosh.
What is Kibosh, Bikashji?
Keyboards, even I am not sure. Keyboards.
Okay.
We'll see.
So,
Yeah.
so going back to what we just read, that one question that is always been a question for me is how to distinguish between God's voice and that other voice that keeps talking in the middle, the thoughts of the mind.
Yeah.
How best to do, because sometimes I get both the, you know,
Yeah.
both the
This is a very good
messages.
question, and very related to this. Actually, we got the opportunity to discuss in my recent spiritual retreat. So
Uh-huh.
the preacher who came is very experienced person, and he said that if you are getting a confusion whether the thought you are having is your own
Yeah.
mental concussion, or it is as per the
Divine
uh,
intelligence.
divine touching that you are
Consciousness.
getting,
Yeah. Mm.
divine consciousness. So the best way to evaluate, after you get this, you need to evaluate
Huh.
the actions, the
Huh.
thoughts that will lead to the action. Whatever is the action, that action you just try to evaluate and see whether that is as per the scriptures.
Ah, okay.
If that action is not as per the scripture, what scripture says, okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
then very likely it is our own mind which is creating this kind of uh, mental concussion, and it is not as per the, it is not God's wish, it is not God's advice for us. So that's how
See,
actually we
if
need
it
to
is,
distinguish.
well, for me, it is like, see, if it is a philosophical or ethical thing,
Hmm.
generally I get that
Hmm.
part I get.
Hmm.
But I'm talking about daily transactional decisions. Like,
Like if, hmm.
should I take some action or not? Should I go to that place or this place? Or should I buy this item? Will it give me more returns than that kind of transactional than the other one?
Understood, understood. So there also the same principle can be applied. I'll tell you
Huh,
how.
huh.
See, suppose I am getting, so if you can give me one particular example and what is the scenario, then I'll be able to help you even easier. Better description I can give.
Right. So now, for example,
Hmm.
I have this situation at my where the house where I'm constructing,
Hmm.
where rear neighbor Shah Khadri
Hmm.
has broken the rules, and he is boldly saying that you people have broken the rule. Or everybody in the whole neighborhood, everywhere in Bangalore, 95% are breaking the rules when it comes to setback within the compound. You breaking your rules in your own way, I'm breaking it in my own way. So
Hmm.
he's justifying that. That is why he's come out of his compound. He's saying that
Hmm.
just because you have not given a setback inside your compound, yeah, it is giving me the freedom to do whatever I feel like. If you have a problem, go and complain.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I don't know whether because if I complain, then they might also come and ask me for a bribe because the system is such that BBMP normally makes extra money, bribe money. When people
Hmm.
give a complaint, they'll not only
Yeah,
come.
and they will point out whatever setbacks you have, whatever
Yes.
mistakes you did, that also they will point out
Yes. So
and
they
take
will
more
say that.
bribe.
Yeah, yeah. So they will say that no, we are being fair, but the truth is, it is not about fairness. It is more about getting a bribe from both sides.
Yes.
So I don't know now whether because this man's digression is very big. He's gone 2 feet outside his compound, and also people telling me that he's very strong at the moment because he's a corporation assistant engineer or something. He's not really an engineer. He's a kind of assistant, but he's calling himself that he knows all the loopholes and he knows some people in the system. So what will happen is, if we complain, he can also turn around and put another complaint on us, stay order. So
Hmm.
now I don't know whether I should just ignore him with the running the risk that whatever he has promised us, he might break his word later because he's done that earlier. Or should I go ahead and give a complaint on him?
So if you, so I understand, and this is kind of quite from a long time. Actually, it is bothering you,
Yeah.
right? So can you do one thing?
Ah,
Just tomorrow early morning you get up, okay? In the
ah,
Amrit, preferably in the what do you say, Amatula, you call that as
Brahmamurtam.
Brahma Muhurtam.
Ah.
So get up and feel fresh, do some vagus nerve activation process that we discussed, and then
By
start
having a cold water bath, is it?
either cold water bath or at least the humming sound or the Brahmari Pranayam or
Oh,
the variation of Brahmari Pranayam that we have discussed in the
yes, yes.
class as well. So
Got
those
it.
things will make you very fresh and active. After
Hmm.
that, you start your meditation, and after meditation, okay,
Hmm.
in meditation, you just surrender. The meditation that I want you to do is surrendering meditation.
Okay.
Either you are chanting also in that mindset you chant,
Ah.
or if you are doing the surrender meditation, then also directly with the commentary you can do. And after your meditation is done,
Ah.
bring a pen and paper, a white pen, a white
Ah.
paper and pen,
Ah.
and put a line in between and write pros and cons. Okay.
Ah.
So because you have just meditated, your mind will be completely stable and serene.
Hmm.
You will be
Hmm.
able to see things very clearly. And
Hmm.
you can do this also now at this point of time, but there is a risk that you might not be able to see the things as they are. So that
Hmm.
is a better time. However, if it is urgent, then you can do it right away also. And
Hmm.
once you do this pros and cons thing,
Hmm.
write it down and give some points like this pros. This is like 3 pros you got, and suppose 4 cons you got for
Hmm.
the decision that you are going to take.
Hmm.
Then for each 3 pros that you got, you
Hmm.
give a weightage to that.
Okay.
Weightage. So suppose out of 100, you feel
But
that
this one thing,
the
this one thing,
importance
I
the
understand.
importance so
But this
after
one,
you get allocate the weightage to each of the pros and each of the cons,
hmm.
you sum it up and see what
Hmm.
is coming in favor and what is not coming in favor, and accordingly you can take decision, and most likely that will be a good decision. And as per the, because you have already surrendered in the
Hmm.
meditation, most
Hmm.
likely if you have done it rightly, then your divine consciousness will be awakened,
Hmm.
and you will be taking the decision from the space of your divine consciousness, your soul consciousness or Krishna consciousness mindset.
I'm getting the same message that I should wait till we advance the house construction and we finish off the house construction
then
because
then then let it go, no. But once
yeah,
you have received the what do you say, like the touching and the
the answer.
decision, you need
Hmm.
to let it go, right?
Hmm. That part, yes, that part is little. You know what? Like recently, when I went to the RSS thing, I
Hmm.
volunteered for Balabharati to spread dharma to children.
Hmm.
So I went to the RSS group meeting on the Sunday after many months.
Hmm.
There I met somebody. He said, "Look, I know somebody else who can help you out." I called up that person. He said, I'll come to your house next weekend and see."
Hmm.
So I'm gathering all this support. My thought is, I will act unless this man outright does something that's encroaching in our side. I will gather support and keep it ready in case I need to use it. And
Yeah,
after I finish construction,
that is a good way that you can do, but definitely don't reevaluate the decision again and again. What should I do? What
hmm,
should I do? Because you have got the answer, and till the time that stage is not coming, you can
hmm,
just wait, right?
okay. Okay.
Because the more you keep thinking again and again on the same decision,
Yeah.
even though the result you are going to get is will be same,
Hmm.
you might end up losing a lot of vital energy and vital
Yeah,
resources.
that is what is happening. Yes.
Hmm.
Every time I
Hmm.
look at that and say whether how, and every time I look at it and see one brick is coming forward into
Hmm.
my, I'm getting triggered off.
Hmm.
So that is where I have to not get triggered off.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, Bikash bhai. I'll do
Okay.
that. And
Thank
also one more
you.
thing, one technique
Yeah.
is before going to sleep, if I have a thought, if I ask a question,
Hmm.
after I wake up, I'm finding that many times just when I'm before being fully awake, half asleep, half awake, in
Hmm.
the twilight, that time I seem to get answers. So I should try out that also.
Yes. Yes, that
Okay,
is also definitely helpful.
okay,
So
okay,
that is
because
the time when our subconscious mind is very much reachable.
yes, correct. Programmable.
Yes,
Yeah.
programmable and also retrievable. You can retrieve
Yeah.
that better.
Yeah. Right. Right. I'll do that. Yeah, because I really want to get this thing, and also the income streams. I mean, I keep in the affirmations daily. I say by June or July, I want this my income streams in place. There's no development yet on that full development. So I'm really intending that somehow or other it works out. How at the moment I don't know, but it will fall into place in a small
Mm.
way. Start off both the hydroponic farm and the school idea.
Mm.
What attracted me was the hydroponic farm idea. May June you will start off something, even if it's small, and the
Mm.
school idea you start off by November December, and
Mm.
the big project which will last beyond your life.
Mm.
You're meant to do it because over many lifetimes you have been in this area of nature cycles, what do you call them, crop cycles, farming, and
Mm.
also a dissemination of wisdom.
Mm.
So if you have to kind of gather those energies and deliver, and it is the you're getting full support, especially the school idea from the
Mm.
union. Get full support.
Mm.
So the time will come sometime around November, December is what you were saying,
Yeah.
and May, June. So I'm hoping.
Yes.
And the house is turning out to be gradually it's becoming more and more beautiful. I'm observing.
That's great. That just pay gratitude
Yes,
and
and
be.
he said also that your house is karmically blessed. So that's a very good news.
Yes, yes. Focus on that part more and don't focus on the part which is not going as per your expectation.
Yeah.
Automatically, the things will come as per the destiny. So we have ultimately destiny will rule. Whatever karma we have, that will bring the consequence.
Hmm.
And beyond that, how much ever we try, it might not work.
I
So we.
feel also this is collective karma because when I look at even if I look at my wife, she also has this attitude of my way or the highway, just like how that man had, you know, that Kaka.
Yeah.
So I feel she started fighting that day. I remember when we went there, by God's grace, the site manager was there. We were talking to him. One of my neighbors also came, and within 10 minutes, as if he was called by the
Mm.
divine,
Mm.
Khadri suddenly unplanned.
Mm.
So then I just kept my inner peace, and whatever you told me that we have to support that soul to grow and become the best version of itself. So I kept
Mm.
on seeing him like as if with the intention that let his consciousness rise to the maximum today, and in that space let us have a conversation. He was very polite. He said, "No, your windows, I will whatever windows are coming on your side, I will block them with glass blocks, so there's no air coming in from thing. But one window on the end that I'll keep it open and have an exhaust fan from the toilet. That anyway is not facing our window; it is facing the gap, just the way I told him earlier. And
Very nice.
yeah, he very politely he said he agreed, and then regarding this other thing also, the wall also he agreed. Then suddenly one call came, and when I was distracted in the call, my wife started talking to him, and I could make out his heart went into both of them were in heart at war mode. You know, both became very
Okay.
angry. Even the neighbor, when he spoke to him, his heart also was not at peace because he's encroaching on the road. When he asked
Mm.
him these questions, that man started lying. He started to save himself. He started lying and he started twisting the truth. Then, when I asked him the question, see, you've told us this that you will not go beyond 23. Why are you coming? He started saying, things like, I don't like your window. Why is it popping out like this? Even though our window on the first and second floor is well within our compound, he
Mm.
started saying things like this. Then I understood, okay, there's no point in talking about it now. His logic is so twisted that you can't
Mm.
even, you have to either defeat him or just keep quiet.
Mm.
Like, when a terrorist comes and says, "No, I want your land because all these people are Muslims or whatever it is," that is not a
Mm.
logic that really works.
Mm.
So, how can you argue with them? They will say, "No, this is how it is. This is how I want it." So then I
Mm.
realized he's in the child mode. I switched to parent mode and I said, "Okay, fine. If that is what it is right at the moment, there's nothing we can do about it. But this,
Yeah.
you need to enter our site, not even an inch, and make sure you're plastering also." He agreed to all that. So in that way, I quickly called my wife and said, "Come, let's go." But I'm observing that this my way or the highway attitude,
Not
uh,
going to, not
they,
beneficial.
yeah, they want to think. So I realize that it is a part of my prarabdha karma if it's coming so strongly. So I should look into why is it that it is coming so strongly and see how I can work it out of the system by increasing my meditation.
Yes.
Is what I'm coming to.
Yeah.
And that, once I get more stable, I can make out there are hints of various possibilities opening up for my job income streams. And even so far, the money aspect we have not yet had to take a loan. I pray that we don't have to take a loan at all. That the house construction gets done because somehow, without planning, one LIC policy had come to
Hmm.
my, that really helped. What I
Hmm.
paid for from 2000 or before that,
Hmm.
it that really helped, and a couple of other things also, presented themselves. Like my wife's PF, she could not withdraw earlier. Suddenly now there's a chance that she can. So we're looking into how we can do all these things without taking a loan. And also Mr. Ben, our well-wisher, who's helping us with you know investments. I think shares. He was diagnosed, believe it or not, with cancer. He was a young person, just 20, 32 or something like that. He was
Hmm.
diagnosed with cancer. Then I, believe it or not, I sent a prayer request to our prayer group. There's one light healing group that I'm a part of.
Hmm.
And last time when I did the same thing for my friend's father, both of them, friend's father, he went next week for the cancer operation, and they said he's cancer free. Can you believe that? And
Wow.
then Mr. Ben also, he told my wife, he's a very emotional kind of person. He's from a very rich family in Coimbatore. So he told my wife, because they keep chatting regularly, he's my wife's friend's friend. So, we've got quite close because he also goes to the same Kali Devi temple for advice and all that, though he's a Christian. So,
Hmm.
yeah, he was telling my wife, I kept telling him, look, it'll be all right. You don't keep worrying about your thing, but you have to take care of your sleep and your eating. You're not doing it correctly. But when I went sat in the car, he was telling my wife, I think this is the last. They've already said no hopes and all that. But somehow I prayed for him, and next week, just 2 3 days later, he called up saying that the second tests have come out negative. That means I don't have cancer.
Hmm.
Can you?
That is
So
miraculous.
really, it's like a miracle only. And I think he's the person who's been guiding us with this shares. So if the shares come and work out properly, whatever we've invested in them, the returns will cover the whole construction cost. So that is where really I'm seeing that the divine is really looking after us. And step by step, we are able to go forward. But all these little gremlins are there which we have to sort out. Maybe prarabdha karma.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the update from my side, Bikashji. And so of late, I have not been able to get up in the morning. I've been sleeping late. I have to. I think today I'll make an extra effort to sleep early and start getting up early. Brahma Muhurtam,
Yes.
Pomodoro. Yeah, for the
Yeah.
Pomodoro.
Yes. Yes.
And we have to also encourage others. It looks like practically the whole group seems to have slept off.
Yes.
Doesn't
Yes.
see
Yeah.
any.
Now we have to. Actually, I thought of revoking in the last call, Saturday call.
Uh,
So didn't happen. Then again, the next call, I am trying to call individually to everyone and be present so that we can restart with renewed enthusiasm
yeah,
and make the things really transformative.
yeah,
Now it is going little,
low.
yeah, very low, not little.
When Rohit has stopped.
Yes, yes. He's
Luckily, at least
personally
today.
messaging me personally, but yeah, but he has kind of stopped. So I need